We got work to do. Welcome guys, welcome back to the channel. As you see by the title today, honestly I'm really just doing a little bit of cleaning up, and I also got a new mattress for my daughter's room, so we are going to get that out the box. And honestly, if you've been needing a mattress for your bed, so my daughter has a queen size, so honestly it works. So that's why I said if you have been needing a mattress, you're definitely going to want to make sure you are watching this to the T, because I am going to give a thorough review. I'm also going to give like a update in this video. It won't be the same as today, but I'll insert some snippets as in like 48 hours later, so that way you can kind of see how the mattress is like, because you know nowadays mattresses come in boxes, and that means we gotta wait till they take their full form and full shape. So that's what we're doing. In the meantime, I want to show you guys some updates that I have done around the house. Not too much, and I gotta clean my closet. I know you guys see all the glitz and glams when it comes for me to producing and getting a video out to you guys, but the behind the scenes, it gets crazy. Okay, it gets crazy. So behind the scenes plus life happening plus wifing plus momming, it takes a toll, and it shows. I keep looking because I can't believe it looked like that, but y'all gonna help me today. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of motivation, and in return, as always, you guys are gonna give me motivation. So let's go. I'm going to take you guys into the guest bathroom. If you have not seen my latest Temu video, I urge you to go watch that video and check that video out, because the updates that I'm about to show you guys basically are the pieces that were in that video. As a matter of fact, it's live today. Okay, it's live. So let's go to the bathroom. Let's. So in that video, I talked about how adding floating shelves to your bathroom can definitely change the space of your bathroom. And this is one of the areas where I added a floating shelf over the toilet area. But instead of making them the typical floating shelves, each one, I decided to kind of like offset them, as you see. And offsetting them kind of gives me like this idea to create something different. Now, what I think I might do in the future, because this particular area, I'm not saying it's dark, but because my children and guests will use this bathroom, I want to be able to have like some extra lighting in here. So if I can have like a plug-in in a socket, or maybe like even some motion sensor lights in here, I think that would definitely change the space and give a little bit more, you know. Adding lighting, you guys know we've talked about this before. Adding lighting is always good. It's always good. Okay, now what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to talk about what's on the shelves. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because what's on the shelves did not, let me repeat, did not come from Temu. They came from local stores like Ross, Burlington, etc. So I want you to be able to see in the future when you go out to some of these stores. And some of these stores, I know y'all are like, I am not stepping foot in there. I don't particularly go to a store because of what somebody else's opinion of a store is. I go in there and I find hidden gems. And then you ask them where I get it from, and then they say, oh, I never see that. Because take your time, you'll see it. So let's go through some of these things on the shelf, that how you can basically amp up the space in your bathroom without trying too hard, and most importantly without spending entirely too much. Okay, first things first, let's talk about scents. You always need some type of scents in the bathroom. This is a reed diffuser. Now you always can go for something more high-end, more expensive. Have I? Yes, I have. But I've also learned the high-end ones, sometimes they do last longer. I'm not gonna lie, they do. They do. If you're praying for a premium, they do last longer, and sometimes they don't. But I realized I like to change the scent quite often, so give me the $5.99 or $6.99 one any day, because it still lasts a few months. Okay, it lasts a good while. And if I have to buy these 3 times a year, I think at spending $15, I don't lose. You know what I'm saying? So having a nice reed diffuser, I just think is so good for the space. And this one, it's just I don't know, it just adds extra to it, because it has not only the reeds but like these faux flowers in here, which makes it a little bit more pretty. And yes, this one was purchased from Ross once again for $5.99. Now You always need some type of scent spray in the room. You always need some type of room spray in the bathroom. I always opt for something that's a pretty bottle, because it doesn't necessarily look like room spray. It just looks very gorgeous. This is like a Santal scent that I got from Raw, so you guys know that I'm being 100% honest with you guys. $5.99. $5.99, and it is a very, very, very beautiful bottle. And regardless of where I set it or put it in my house, even if I was to add this to somewhere in my kitchen, it still looks nice because it does not look like a traditional bottle of air freshener. Does that make sense? It makes sense. So I know poopery sprays, everybody likes to have them. You can still have them, but I can show you how you can store them if you don't like the look of them. These I like the look of, and they last an incredibly long time. This is a glass bottle, so this is something, if you have children like I do, keep it higher up to keep out of the reach of children. And there you have it. Now when it comes to simple styling in the bathroom, especially like floating shelves, I love to keep it very simple and very minimal, and that is always going to be towels. Okay, buying minimal towels, buying white towels is always going to add an extra oomph to the space, because one, white always look clean, and I typically like to have ones here that do not get used unless guests come over, and I can wash them right before they come over. So if they need to grab one, they can grab one and not feel like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for using one. So I like to have them here, and you gotta understand, like, when you buy a pack of these, when you're styling washcloths, especially white washcloths, buy the nicer pack. Do not buy the thin pack, buy the nicer pack. That's going to give you a little bit of a fluffiness. It's going to look good when it's sitting there. It's not going to look flat. It may have a small attention to detail, not too much, but it's still going to look good for the space. And that's the same thing with hand towels. I don't typically go towards towels when I'm styling them in the bathroom, just because towels isn't all the time used, but that's okay. You can still use towels, don't get me wrong, but I like to go smaller so I can kind of offset the shelf with the nicer things as well. And again, when you're buying those hand towels, make sure, especially if you're using them for decor purposes, just pay a little bit more. Like, and when I mean a little bit more, I'm not saying expensive. I mean, this 2-pack was probably $10 versus a $5 pack. You see what I'm saying? So take that option of paying a little bit more so you get a little bit more elegance, a little bit more quality when it comes to your hand towels. You don't have to spend a lot. No, I will always advocate for that. I don't care how rich the Lord gets me, okay? There's always room for a budget, and there's always room for what makes sense, okay? And I'm right there. I'm right there with you. This plant here is just so gorgeous. I actually got this on clearance at Ross for I think about $10. Original price was like $15. But I like the fact that it has a clear base. So that means regardless of where you put it, it matches with any and everything, okay? It plays very beautifully with the portrait that we have on the wall here, and I just think this is so gorgeous with the whites, the plum, with lilac color in it, and it just looks so good. And this is gorgeous going into spring as well as summer. And what I love about this is even in the wintertime, as seasons change, you can still opt to have something like this on the shelf, and it doesn't look like it's out of season. It still looks incredibly good, okay? So take a look at the florals. Go towards the ones that look more expensive. I'm going to give you a comparison. I let my daughter pick out something that she loves just because I let her pick out something that she loves. It is what it is. It's about them liking what they like, loving what they love, and at the end of the day, it's their space. But if you take a look at this vase, it looks incredibly less expensive. Even the flowers don't look as prominent as this, okay? And they were the same price. Okay, they were the same price. Now, granted, this one was on clearance, but if it wasn't, consider if it wasn't on clearance, which one looks better? Let me spend a little bit more to get more of a better quality of something that's going to last longer, and it's still going to look just as good. Now, the space beside this plant was not intended to left blank, okay? It has some more washcloths. But when you have kids and you still tell them don't touch it because you have to record a video and they still don't listen, welcome to my life, okay? Welcome. This is real life, okay? But essentially, you could add an additional area, which I did here. I had more washcloths just sitting here, so just grab and go as needed. And if you want to do something completely different and add a candle to the space, let's add a candle and I can show you. Now, imagine having something this beautiful. Again, guess what? This is a Ross piece. Look how beautiful this candle is. It has a gold top, it's white, and it has gold around here. This is a very, very, very gorgeous candle. It smells really good. I love when candles have 2 stems in them for you to burn, so it makes the scent a little bit more prominent. You guys know, if I had, you know what, let's speak excellence. When I have my own things for you guys to be able to gravitate towards and to purchase, this is the quality that I'm going for. I know what works for your house and for your home and what makes sense, and I got you. But back to the matter at hand, having something like this stored here looks incredibly gorgeous, and I promise you it will not disappoint. And then again, it also adds an additional factor, which is smell to the space. And kind of the last 2 things that I kind of want to touch on adding to a space, like if you get stumped and you just don't know what to add to the space, you're just like completely like clueless, get things that have stuff in it. Like this glass jar from Ross, once again, has Q-tips in it. It has Q-tips in it. This was $5.99 with the Q-tips, okay? With the Q-tips. This is gorgeous. If you get like, I just don't know what to do, I just don't know what to add, this is very beautiful. This is very gorgeous. And it also is a great decor piece. And last but certainly not least, if you're like me and you're like, some things I just want hidden. I don't want anyone to come into the bathroom and see sanitary items. I don't want people to come into the bathroom and see poopery spray. It don't matter if we all go to the bathroom and do the same thing. I just don't want nobody to see it. You understand what I'm saying? So get a box to put those items in. A box that easily opens and closes on the shelf. You don't have to take it off the shelf to open it. It's just easily accessible. You can put your sanitary napkins in here. You could put your poopery spray in here. Whatever additional you want to put in here that you don't want nobody to see, get the decorative box and put it in. Decorative box, especially at places like Ross, are very inexpensive. I'm talking under $10, under $5. Now this one is glass, and it has like a really pretty trinket on here. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually did get this one from Home Goods and not Ross, but it's years old. But just the idea, sometimes when you spend a little bit more, you're able to recycle things year after year after year. And this is one of those items that I'm able to recycle. And again, it's very gorgeous and it serves multiple purposes. Now, this is the shower. This is the guest shower. Now, if you cannot hear me that good, I'm going to try my hardest to mute everything I possibly can, or I'll add a voice over. But I added this dispenser here on the wall. Yes, this is another Temu purchase. You guys know that I have soap dispensers on my wall in our primary bathroom, but I wanted it to add it to the shower in our secondary bathroom. And particularly the reason is because our kids, their stuff is lower down to the tub, but when we have guests over, someone that's staying the night, I don't want them to have to bend down to get anything that they actually need. And sometimes you want to come as light as possible when you go to someone's house. And knowing that I already have the shampoo and conditioner and the soap for you, you love me. Don't you love me? You don't have to come to my room, knock on my door, hey, can I borrow this? I already have it easily accessible for you. I cut the light off because the fan is also on when the light is on. But to get the gist of it, this is really nice. No, you do not have to have gold. You don't have to necessarily buy everything in gold. Like I buy a lot of things in gold. I just like that as an accent, and especially like popping off this wall. It looks so good popping off this wall. Obviously I have a very, very beautiful tile wall in the bathroom. And I've stated in that video, regardless of the type of tub that you have, if you have a plaster tub, glass shower, they still adhere to it, so you don't have to worry about it. They come with the glue, and it also comes with extra glue. So if over time, because there's that possibility, if over time it gets loose or something like that, you can obviously just re-adhere it to the wall, but it doesn't damage it. You don't have to worry about using a nail or anything like that. It is very, very, very renter friendly, homeowner friendly. And I like to also include, if you have a business, if you know someone who has a business, take note of these things, because when you are trying to scale your business, you're trying to keep overhead costs down, but you still want to go for a high-end look. Okay, and if I go to a business and I appreciate the bathroom when I go into that business and they have something like this, I'm gonna automatically assume that they paid a lot of money for it just because of the look of it. So there's that. Now you'll probably see, yes, this picture is basically the same as the other picture behind the toilet. And sometimes don't overcomplicate things. Don't make things harder than it necessarily has to be. Sometimes you can buy two pictures and it serves its purpose. You understand what I'm saying? If you walk into this bathroom, it's very inviting. It's very nice, and you're not gonna notice, obviously, unless you just stare like, oh my god, it's the same picture. You're just going to like, that's really nice. Are they twin pictures? You know, something a little bit off about each one of them that makes it like, it looks like a cohesive space and everything just comes together. On this towel rack, obviously I'm just going to put some decorative towels here, but again, when you have children, they like to play in decor. Okay, I'm just gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know. Okay, we'll spend a little bit more when they get a little bit older, and then when that time comes, I'm probably like, you know what, I've done so well with so little. You know what, we don't even have to do that either. Okay, but nonetheless, lastly, what I added to this bathroom was a hand soap dispenser, and this is what they look like. I think they are incredibly gorgeous. Okay, incredibly gorgeous. Again, yes, before you ask, yes, they are Temu. This is gorgeous, and I love the fact, you hear that? They are plastic. So they are very kid friendly. They're kid proof, okay? They are guest proof. Let me also add that in it. If you don't have children, these are also guest proof, okay? You guys know, sometimes people can come to your house and tear your, you know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with it. Tear your stuff up, okay? And you don't want to have to, you know, sometimes you get upset and you spend money on stuff, people stare at stuff. I don't know, y'all. This is nice and they cheap, and I would still get upset if they get tore up, okay? But one says hand soap, one says lotion, and the set was under $10. One's white and gold, of course, and the other one is black and gold. But this is just so gorgeous, and I just think it's so nice. Something really nice to add to a space, and that says, okay, I tried in here. I really tried in here without spending too much money. And what you can do for something like this, you can add a very small tray like this, put both of them on, add a beautiful flower beside it, and it turns out gorgeous. It looks like you really like it. You're that girl. Nobody had to know you had help. I'm helping you. Y'all helping me help you, okay? And ain't nobody had to know. It's between me and you. It's between me and you. Nobody has to know that you went the extra length, the extra mile, but you didn't spend the money. You didn't spend miles of money to do it. Okay, all right. Now let's get out the bathroom for these kids coming here and say, what are you doing in our bathroom? And you know how kids are like, are you paying for this, or is your dad paying for this, you know? Okay, so now we are in the kiddos room, okay? So it's a very simple, quaint, it's a kiddos room, okay? Now, y'all know at our home, our daughter's room was just, okay? But you know what? When you have to relocate and your options aren't quite as grandeur as your options were before, you have to, you know, God says, you got them skills that I gave you. Let me see you put them to use. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put them to use, okay? So this is her room, but what I'm actually thinking about is obviously allowing her and her brother to share a room and have bunk beds while they're young, because in about 3 years it won't happen anymore, okay? They're completely their own separate spaces. And I love being able to give you guys ideas. If you want to, if your children have to share a space, there is no other option besides them sharing a space. I got you. If you're trying to create more space and you don't mind your kids sharing a space, I got you. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, okay? Right now, today, obviously, I ain't gonna be doing the room. I know you're probably like, dang, Samantha, you hyped me up for nothing. No, I'm not gonna be doing the room today. But what I am gonna be doing is getting rid of this mattress, okay? Every room in our house, in our home, even our mattress is a high quality mattress. And all of them are by the brand SweetNight, okay? We're talking about getting rid of these mattresses that has the wire coiling in it, because it does nothing for your body besides make it hurt. And if we're upgrading every area, we got to start with the quality of sleep, and we got to get rid of this mattress. It's time to let it go. Okay, now you do what you can do when you afford what you can afford, because this was very much affordable. But now we're moving to something that's just as affordable, but obviously a little bit more. Now the quality of mattresses are completely different and honestly better. So we're gonna get rid of this one, and I'm gonna walk you guys through the new mattress, and there we go. It is a SweetNight mattress, and I've suggested before that my mom, we got her a SweetNight mattress. Our mattress is a SweetNight mattress, and this one is no different. It is a gel memory foam, and you guys know, if you know anything about gel memory foam beds, high quality gel memory foam mattress, is that it's going to adhere, it's going to contour to your body. So you're going to get minimal movement from if anyone else additional is in the bed. Sometimes if your children are asleep with you, you're gonna get minimal movement in the bed, so it's going to give you that comfort of a night's rest that you have been longing for. It is so hard nowadays to find a high quality mattress, and when I do, I stick by something. There is proof to what I'm saying, because these mattresses are one of the best selling mattress, for one, and for two, I know when you guys are purchasing things that I'm recommending, and this mattress is one of the top sellers, because SweetNight, they just get it. They give you a high quality, but they also give you affordability without breaking the bank, and this is no other. So let's get her open. Obviously she's a very huge box, so you just have to keep in mind, because it is a very heavy mattress. Remember how I told you these mattresses are in boxes now? You want to get it where it's going to be, so it's less movement once you get it to where it's supposed to be. So let's get her open. Oh, this is so cute. This is so cute. This like mimics what it is like. I don't know if you guys can like actually like, you don't have to worry about the springs, you don't have to worry about all of that when it comes to. And then there's also something about these mattresses, it's like a cooling sensation that you get from these mattresses. I don't know how it is possible, but it keeps you from, you know, sweating, overheating at night. This is just, again, I can't say too much. Let's get her out the box. Okay, so as you see, she is on the bed. Now that she's out the box, I just want to kind of show you basically what it comes with. You get one of these things, like it's an opener for the mattress, because you do not want to use like a regular knife and puncture the mattress, and that will be a recipe for disaster. So this is what it is. And then this also basically is a booklet. Now it's a CoolNest mattress, giving you 3 times the airflow, helping you maintain temperature better at night when you are sleeping. It's just like that cooling touch. And before y'all say, girl, you could have got your husband to do it. He with the kids. He with the kids, okay? And you gotta pick and choose your struggles and your battles. You gotta pick and choose. And this wasn't that bad. Might just need to tell me I need to get back in the gym. I don't know if you can hear it, the air, but you can hear it. Now for the moment of truth. Let's get this thing cut and get this plastic off before it's too late. It's on, it is inflating. I'm going to obviously insert some shots so that way you guys can actually see it basically lifting up. But this, you can see how flat this side over here, see how this side is already so flat compared to this side. It still has some more lifting to do. It takes a good 48 to 72 hours for it to fully inflate to its fullest potential, but if it's not already at its full potential, then we already know this is going to be incredibly nice of a mattress, because as it is inflating, it already looks so good on the bed. Just based off on the size you need, if you're not ready to step into the $1,200 to $2,400 mattresses, SweetNight is the ideal place that you want to start. Don't start anywhere else. Start at SweetNight so you can at least get a good night's rest, a high quality night's rest, and be comfortable at the same time. And of course, as always, the link is in the description box for you guys to be able to check out all that SweetNight has to offer when it comes to high quality premium mattress for your bed. You can get it for yourself, for your loved ones. So add this as a gift, to yourself, but this is at the top of the list when it comes to need. Yes, we can have other things, but there are some things in life that we cannot skimp out on, and having a quality mattress, getting a quality night's rest, set the tone for every single thing in your life, not just your day, but it sets the tone for every single thing in your life. So cherish it, take care of it. The link is in the description. Go get your SweetNight mattress today. For that, I want to show you guys her closet really quick, because her and her brother share her closet, and I want to show you some ways how you can basically maximize one closet space for 2 kids. Now it's a little bit dark, so I'm going to kind of basically insert an overlay so that way you guys can kind of see it without it being too dark. There is no light in this closet, so that is something I'm going to have to consider, adding a motion sensor light so when the door come on, obviously a light appears in the closet. Okay, so when it comes to sharing a closet, our children share a closet because it just makes sense. But the only thing when it comes to rental spaces, and sometimes when you buy a home, they give you a nice decent length size closet, but it's just one hanging rod across the top, and it's like, but what about the bottom? We need something at the bottom to kind of off play that, because sometimes kids have a lot, and then in my cases and in some of your cases, sometimes they are sharing the same space. So what I decided to do was basically chop it in half and make the front our daughter's half and make the back our son's half. And that is simply because right now, obviously, our daughter is the one that is going to school every single day, and her stuff needs to be more accessible than his belongings. So order your closet based off accessibility, what makes sense for your day-to-day life. If you have ones that are not going to school every day, then push their stuff kind of to the back, and the ones that are going to school every day to the front, because it just makes sense. Okay, now because this isn't my space and I can't do all of the adding and the trinkets and the nice organization you guys have seen in the house that we own, what I did decide to do was I had this shelf down below. Again, this is something she had in her room prior, and I said it just makes more sense to bring it into this space as well. And having this allows us to go ahead and pick her clothes out for the week. So Monday through Friday, her clothes are ready to go on the rack. She doesn't have to sort through anything. She already knows what she's going to wear. It's just get up in the morning. It's just a matter of getting up in the morning and getting herself dressed for school. But it also creates more space in the closet, because again, the clothing rod is just at the top and not at the bottom, and we need it to be able to maximize space, because girls, I feel like, always have more stuff than boys. And there's just, I guess it's because we have more options, from skirts to dresses to shorts to jeans, you know, compared to men bottom top keep it moving, you know? So that's just that. Now, what I also would recommend having in your closet is adding some type of storage. We went ahead and added a dresser into the closet. So that's basically like an overflow of everything in the closet space, okay? Things that don't necessarily fit inside of the nightstand or inside of the room, you have that overflow inside of the closet. And you know, sometimes kids are messy and you don't have to worry about them always going into the closet and grabbing stuff and making a mess, because their room is always like the mess they make. So it's almost like also keeping it controlled. Like they'll get in the drawers and get whatever they need, make a mess, and it's unorganized. But when it comes to the closet, it's like they really don't too much play in a closet. Now I'm not saying all kids don't, but you get where I'm going with this. Kind of trying to control where they can go and the mess they can make. But at the same time, just adding extra storage inside of the closet is just to add, it just makes sense, because again, having one rod at the top, it's just not conducive. Like at least have two, you know, at least have two. That way it's just accessible for everyone, and just it makes that much more sense. And then at the end of the day, organize the clothes based off season. So as we go into spring and summer, put your spring and summer in the front. As we go into winter and fall, rotate it out. So that way you're not shuffling through coats or whatever in the springtime, and you're not shuffling through shorts and short sleeve shirts in the winter time. So remember how before when I first put it on to the bed, it was two separate parts, and you could see how one side wasn't as smooth as the other. But now the entire bed is so smooth. This is after 72 hours of allowing the mattress to basically do its thing, and it just looks so good. I am so impressed. The quality is very much there. The memory foam, it's like immediately goes back. So contouring to your body is such an understatement. I will always 100% recommend SweetNight, because it is just that good. Now, we done took care of everybody else today. Now we gotta refuel me and take care of me. In the stomping ground of where everything takes place, okay? We're in my closet, and as you see, it's out of order, okay? We got to get it back in order today. So that's what we are about to do. Before I let you guys go, I'm gonna do a little bit of a clean with me, because I do all of the video, and then when the video is over, because 9 times out of 10 I'm going straight into editing. It's not like I'm editing. Sometimes I'm editing a different day, but when I'm in my mode get it done, I literally film, and then I immediately, maybe like an hour or two later, I edit, which puts me in the space of I can't necessarily go right behind myself and pick up everything. And you guys know, about a week or 2 weeks ago, like I said, you guys saw the spring haul. And since you saw the spring haul, guess what? The spring haul is sitting in the chair. It's sitting up here. So we got to get that taken care of today. Sometimes things are out of order because life is lifing, and life is lifing. So let's get some order back in place. Let's get some formality back in place so we can welcome in new with change. So let's go. Now, where y'all saw me just move my Louis Vuitton duffel and my 2 Speedies, I put them at the top because initially I wasn't going to put them there, but you know what? It's space. Why not utilize the space you have for something good? And where I took it from, I think I'm going to add another clothing rod right there because it is a good amount of space from the next one, and I just think it just makes sense to add another like it just makes sense. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Probably not today, not in this video, but in another home update. 9 times out of 10 you're going to see that. It just makes sense because, yeah, remember how I said, you know, you need space and you get tight on space and then you need more space. That's what we run into. But for the space now, even though I'm going to have stuff hanging there, I'll probably do like my athleisure, like my mini skirts, like workout mini skirts and stuff like that right there. But what I'm going to do now is put some sneakers and stuff at the bottom of it. I do have plenty of more space for sneakers, but we're going to utilize that space for that. Okay, that's what we're going to do. I think that looks so good. And then above it would be like a row right here, hanging right here. Because you see how high, how much space I have. Another row right here. Obviously this long stuff, I can move it to the long hanging side. And yeah, so I think that's just gonna look so good. Another hanging. We did it again, maximizing space. We gotta get this island taken care of because I have so much stuff on the island that is ridiculous, especially like all of this leftover stuff. You know how like when I did my haul, I had like all this, I just basically just dumped everything here, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with the boxes. I used to keep the boxes and put them as decor at the top of the closet, but I don't know if I'm really into that anymore. Or not that I'm into it, it's just it takes up unnecessary space. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. Now I might just put them up there just to get them out the way, okay? But I'm not 100% sure. Have empty stuff everywhere, like these empty boxes and stuff. So I think I might just put them up there just to get them out of the way, and we'll see how that goes. Let me position y'all so y'all can like see. So remember I had my 2 purses up there. I kind of took them down, but let me see. Let's put it here. See, I have another box, and I have 6 of these boxes, literally 6 of these boxes. So I don't know where these are going. We're gonna just put it in the closet. I don't have time. This right here is so gorgeous. I really want this like up high. Well guys, we have officially made it to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed me doing a little bit of house updates for you guys, giving you guys a little bit of tips as well as some cleaning. As always, the SweetNight mattress will be linked in the description box for you guys to check it out. I promise you you will not be disappointed. Anytime you see me go back to the same thing over and over, that means the quality is great. And I've told you guys before, sometimes some things we can scale back on, but the areas we scale back on, we use those finances to kind of scale on some other things that are incredibly important. And sleep is at the top of, and it should be at the top of everybody's list when it comes to a luxury that you have to have in your house. Like, having a nice mattress is just, I honestly cannot put into words. But now that this closet is back clean, thank you God, we have a clean space, clear mind, clear head, and kind of get us together and going into a work week and not having to feel like we have so much we have to do. This space is done. Okay, we won't have like any like spring summer haul type things like that for a while, probably not until the next quarter, if the next quarter. Okay, but guys, until then, until next time, as always, let's chit chat in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Bye.